What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all enjoying modifying cars. Before we start guys, I want to say please, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers now, so appreciate all the support you guys are giving. So if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. So much more content coming in the future. We've got so much planned on this channel and you're going to love every minute of it. So basically in today's video I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be doing with my Fiesta side skirts, because I'm going to be fixing them up. So this is the passenger near side one, and you can see it's completely cracked. The entire front of the panel has come off. The paint is a very cheap fix. As you can see, the car that come off, they actually used to be red. And then also here, this bit you can see when the door's shut, which is quite annoying, but I've learned how to do filling and painting now, so hopefully in this video going to be fixing these up. But yeah, these came off a crash damaged Fiesta, and I sprayed them silver, and yeah, they're just, you know, crappy old side skirts, but I want them to look a bit better because they do look horrible. So while the car's sort of off the road for a bit, having its clutch done and MOT and all that sort of stuff doing, the car needs a lot of work. There's quite a bit of rust that I'll show you on the inner side of where the side skirts actually sit in the wheel arch. But yeah, for now, over the winter period, I'm going to be cleaning these. So in this video, let's start by sanding them down. So I've just given them a quick sand with a bit of P400 grip paper, just to you know, scratch up the paint a bit, because on this one I'm going to be mainly working on this area here with a bit of body filler. So bridge this gap and then fill that across, and then hopefully smooth it all out. But yeah, so that's next step. Okay guys, so here's the bit I'm going to be working on. I've got some aluminium mesh which you put behind this, and then you basically body fill over. There's no easy way of really showing you this, but you should be able to get the gist of what I'm doing from the video. So with this mesh, you basically just use your standard household scissors to cut it. The best way to do is sort of measure up where you need it. You can go with about there somewhere. Just cut a piece which we can use. And then what you want to do is place this behind where you're working. The beauty with this is you can form it to any sort of shape, so if there's ridges or bumps, you should, once you got it all together, should just sit in there like so, and you basically use body filler as an adhesive for it. So what I'm doing now is just mixing the body filler and the hardener together. So I've now stuck the mesh down with the body filler, and you've just got to let it dry now. And then what that'll give you is basically a bridge that you can then lather your rest of your body filler over, and then obviously you can then sand it and paint it and make it look completely flat. So hopefully by the end of this video, that will look like any other part of this side skirt. So guys, the filler has now dried, and as you can see, this is a nice secure bridge across that gap, so I can now lay my filler across that. So I've left it to dry for a couple of days, and this is actually what it's looking like now. And well, now I've got to start the painstaking process of sanding it and shaping it basically. Yeah, so let's get on with that. So the job I've done is now complete, perfectly sand. I've given it a bit of prime. I don't want them to be perfect because they aren't perfect. They're very tatty side skirts, but just for aesthetics from long distance they're fine. And that's the other side, which you can see I've tried my best to fill, but the plastic is just all cracked and crooked because, like I said, they came off a crash damaged Fiesta, so they're not plumb straight anyway, but they'll do. So guys, these have been drying overnight. They're now covered in primer and a base coat, and now it's time to paint them properly, obviously because you'll cover up all the marks and everything. So yeah, let's get on and do that. Okay guys, so it's been about 48 hours since I did the paint. The clear coat has completely dried, and now it's time for some wet sanding. So little trick I've picked up is use a sponge as a sanding block, because it will form to the contours, especially if you're working on something like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work up with 2000 to a 3000 to a 5000, because that's all I've got left after I've been doing my 350Z boot lid. So first of all, we're going to wet the whole side skirt and then soak these bits of paper, and then we basically rub and then dry and then rub and then dry and then rub and dry, and then basically I'll show you what I do after that. This is drying out. It's much smoother to the touch because I've smoothed down those clear cut layers, but as it dries I'm seeing that it's doing exactly the same as what my 350Z boot lid did. You can see the very minor, you can't really see it on cameras, but there's very minor scratch and abrasion marks along the clear coat. And now the idea is that you take a buffer, or you can do it by hand, but I think a buffer would probably work better for something this size. You take some polish and you effectively buff those minute scratches out, and you should get a lovely shiny finish. I just want to reiterate, I'm not a body shop, and I don't know whether this is correct at all. This is what I've been following along on the internet, but I think they do look much better than they were. But let's see what they look like after a polish. So I'm now just waiting for the wax that I've buffed and polished on to set. If you like this Ryobi buffer, really good tool. It's obviously part of their OnePlus range. I'm not sponsored by Adobe, I just love how easy their products are, and they're actually quite reasonably priced for what they are. But this is a really good buffer that I found if you're just like me at home, just for doing stuff like this and for polishing your actual whole car. Can't go wrong. So if you want one, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Right guys, so the wax layer is set, so now I'm just gonna buff it off with a hand, and hopefully it should look really nice. Guys, so here's a side-by-side comparison. The one on the left is the one I've just buffed, the one on the right is the one I've still got to do, and you can see there is a massive difference in how glossy that color is compared to this one. They're not like massively different, but I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this one is so much more brighter in the sunlight than this one. So I know this moon dust silver color on my Ford has never been like the most mirror finish of all colors on a car, but what I found is that also because you're painting plastic, it doesn't have the same, you know, gloss effect that a metallic or metal body would have. But I think they look really good, so I'm just going to finish doing that one, and then that'll be the end of this video, I think. Okay guys, and here are both the side skirts completely repainted and looking better. They're not great, they're not show spec side skirts. Like I said, these were off a crash damage Fiesta. You can see, like there for example, and definitely at that front filler job there, where there's a lot of impact from a crash, I assume. That's all I know about them, but they were red, they're now silver. The jacking points are back on. I have to cable tie them down because on some of them the clips are broken because they were obviously ripped off when the car crashed. But yeah, apart from that, they look amazing, and let's go see what they look like back on the car. So there we go, guys. You can see from that they look a lot better. Like I said, on painted plastic you're never going to get that mirror, that true mirror finish like you do on metal. They are shiny, but obviously they're not going to be as shiny. But they look a hell of a lot better than they did, because I did paint these once before, like I said at the start of the video. Didn't do a very good job because it was a couple of years ago now. I had no idea what I was doing, and they looked terrible after a while. They looked alright when they're new, but hopefully these, now I've done it properly, and they're so much smoother. They should just stay like this for a long time. As always, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, because we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's my target, my goal for this year. So really appreciative if you did that for me. But apart from that, more content to come on both cars and potentially a new project car in the future, so stick around for that. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.